Bring in the thunder. Here it comes off that mountain. Get ready. It was a change of the season. As the wheel turns, get ready. Fortuna and that fucking Wheel of Fortune. What's up, everyone? I am the hostess with the mostest, the High Priestess Phoenix. I am your narrator to God's bullshit, your spiritual healer, teacher, shaman, seer, oracle, lightworker, starseed, earth angel, mystic, medium, psychic, witch, yogi, guru, evangelist, North American Sybil. It is so cold and breezy. Do you hear it? I am your messenger of God, the first child of God, Lilith reincarnated. In order to keep up with me, you can't, I'm moving as fast as the wind, you would have had to see when I posted to my community page. Do you guys believe in magic, bro? Do you know how magic works? Belief, right? You're never gonna believe this shit, but I promise it just happened. It really happened. I was guided. I'm gonna tell you, what does this mean? What are we gonna talk about? Statistics. Statistics. I didn't realize that when I was talking shit about fucking Aaron Rodgers. Roger. I didn't get the message right then. My brain was still fried in the heat. I was still in the pressure cooker. Anyways, I woke up from a fucking killer-ass nap. I was like, oh, God. Threw myself into another cold shower. I put myself in shock in the first cold shower before that. I was like, I came from outside and I went in and I jumped straight into a cold shower. I thought, I had this visualization. It was going to be like a lush waterfall. As soon as I got in, my body went into shock. I was like, oh my God. Then I felt nice and cool and I crawled into a bed and fell asleep and woke up not feeling so cool at all. So I did it again and I came outside and all hell had broken loose outside. It was still hot and sweaty, and here's another fucking ambulance and police, and here comes the dog pound. I was like, oh shit. Now, we're going to talk about the statistics of what that story is. But anyways, as that all goes down, I'm guided. I ran out of sage. I was like, I need to find some sage. And there's a 5 below, and I'm like, all right, we're about to roll. So I grabbed the kids, I'm like, we're going to go. I get there, and I got me some sage, some smudge sticks, but they had, I'm going to show you, they had these cool ass and these fucking incense, right? Alright, so I posted it. I'll use the picture as the cover. Probably need to take a bigger picture. But they're angel numbers, right? And they're incense, which I call magic sticks for real, because what I do as a fire witch is I mix together a bunch of herbs and I put my intentions in it and I send it away in the smoke and the wind. So as I'm in the parking lot and I'm just sitting there, I'm like, which one do I want to light? And I was like, change. I want some change. Dude, I lit this motherfucker, bro. And I swear to God, it started this unbelievable windstorm. The winds of change came in immediately and sucked that shit up, bro. I was like, holy shit. And that's what you can hear around me is the trees rustling. And it's a beautiful cold wind, too. It's not like that hot-ass Santa Ana fucking sweaty-ass. It is fresh. Super fresh. Now, we already said this was coming in with Kalik. But you know, the synchronicity to the immediacy of when I lit that fucking stick was unreal. Alright, so anyways, I had to freaking, take a ride in La La Land. And I just want to say, like, magic's for real. What was my intention? Change. And especially the weather. It was fucking hot. I mean, in my deepest, direst heart, I'm like waiting for the sun to go down and please save me from this hot-ass fucking weather that's killing me right now. And I got what I wished for, but then, here comes more weather. Hey, I did have some sage. I thought it was weird that I would let myself run out like that. I did. It was at my, it was up at my altar. Whatever. Anyway, so I got all this great stuff, and I came back. And then the situation that I left was still there and kind of getting wrapped up. What popped off? Well, before I tell you the story, let's talk about statistics. This was a statistic for sure. So I guess my daughter's seen it. She had told me about it before I came down the stairs. I went down with the intentions of being a little nosy, and then I got more than I wanted, and I got an attitude behind it. It's like, oh, you fucked around and got pissed off? You went looking for trouble, and that's what you found? In the essence, I got pissed off about the whole situation when I realized what had happened. But I knew I was looking for trouble. She's like, Mom, I told her to walk Nana, because she was waiting outside of the shower when I came out. And she's like, Mom, a fucking dog attacked a kid down there. I was like, what? She's like, I think it's the lady you don't like with the fucking pit bull. I was like, what? She's like, yeah. It's like, So I come down, because obviously, healer and shit, but that's not what happened. I got all fucking types of fucking pissed off, because it was this whole fucking Which I tell you people, bro, there's this chick over here that don't like my sage burns and shit. And she's all funkified. She's all nasty like, but she's got a whole crew of nasty like people, just like her. And one of them, yep, it's one of them. I don't have a problem with this one specifically, but you know, you're guilty by association for sure, especially with your baby out there in the fucking diaper all damn day like that. But anyways, here's the story. And I didn't ask from anyone. I asked the people that were cleaning up the fucking blood in the fucking walkway. She's fucking, you can see it. Oh, there's the hawk. The hawk is right over us. No shit. Oh man, I want to show you, but then I show you where I am. I'm not sure it's a hawk. It could be an eagle, bro. Did you hear it land? Oh. And they always go to this high point. And I can't show you because then you know exactly where the fuck I live. And that sucks. But anyways, it's right at the top of the building and I wanted to show you. Anyway, so yeah. So I asked the lady and she's all got this unbelievable face of shock and disgust because she's fucking cleaning up fucking, you can see it, there's like pieces of fucking, I don't know, it's almost like nosebleed blood all over the fucking place, like little pieces of toilet paper and shit. And I'm like, what happened? But I'm asking her in Spanish because, you know, low-key. Literally, low-key. I'm being all fucking devious right now. She's like, the kid was riding its bike and the dog reached out and grabbed the kid. It ripped up its leg and it ripped its hand off of ripped all the skin off of the top of its hand. It's like, are you serious? She's like, yeah, I was like, where's the kid? They're like, they took the kid. And right there is, you know, animal control. And they're on the phone with their fucking, you know what I mean? And this, that, and the other. And I'm just like, damn, I'm seeing it from the kid's perspective fully, bro. Fully. Now, staff is like, well, it's the kid, you know, the fucking kids don't need to be out here riding the bikes. Which, I'm not gonna lie, these motherfuckers is dangerous. There's like, every kid, I don't know where they, you know, if it was Christmas and they're like, give every homeless kid a bike. Where's my kids' bikes? I'm serious. They all got a fucking bike and they're all running around these fucking parking lots. But like 90% of these people don't even got a license. Their car's all illegal. They don't know how to drive and they're gonna run over one of these kids is what I always be thinking. But nah, bro, this fucking dog, dude, got loose, like, and just fucking mauled the kid. And I'm sitting there in the perspective of a parent perspective, bro. And I'm looking at the statistics of it, bro. It's like, this is why they don't let us have pit bulls. It's because you guys don't know how to fucking raise them. First off, the bottom line question, it's not the kid's fault. How'd the dog get loose? The dog was chasing a fucking, you know what I mean? Was chasing a squirrel. It may have been a kid. It was just chasing a squirrel. That's the dog's instinct. The dog's instinct is to chase and, you know what I mean? It's out to chase and grab. It's on the chase. This is why they don't let put pit bulls in fucking rural areas, though. Because it's not about so much about the aggression, but because this is how those fucking dogs, including my own, my dog doesn't do it for everything. But if there is a rabbit, this dog was created, my dog is a beagle mix, right? She's mixed with some kind of terrier, but she's beagle. If there was a fucking rabbit, because she's made for that, dude. She's made for rabbit hunting. She would take off and I could never get her back. She would never stop. She would never stop chasing that rabbit, dude, until it got somewhere where she couldn't get it. She'd go ballistic after that. She doesn't do that about cats. She doesn't do that about squirrels. She don't do that about birds. She don't do that about nothing. But if a fucking rabbit, bro, it just makes her go berserk. Right? So in the essence, you know, the dog was just, you know, it saw something, it saw it running around. The kid was probably teasing it too, because that's what kids do. When they, you know what I mean? The dog barks and they're like, ah, blah, blah, blah. They bark back at it and they, you know, instigate. So I'm looking at this whole shit like, oh, fuck. But I'm looking at them like, I can't stand your ghetto asses, and this is your fucking ghetto ass dog, and I hope they take your fucking dog, bitch. Like, what the fuck is this? Because I'm like, damn, I'm mortified, you know what I mean? And that's where it is the judging mind, the judging eyes. And then after I cleared my spirit, you can see that I can see it from all directions. And it's like, and that's what I said too. When I went to leave, animal control got out of the car and I watched them walk up to the crowd. And they're like, we're not going to take your dog. We're going to go in and watch the footage, but we're not going to take your dog. Let us just figure out what else is going on here. Is what they said. When I came back, they were handing the man a yellow page and I didn't see the dog. They may have took it in, but the other dog that was there was still there. I don't know how it all panned out. I'm probably going to hear about it because everybody watched the shit go down. But that's that moment of where we think what is right, what is just. You know what I mean? If Nana took off after a fucking squirrel, bro, and that's your pet squirrel and she eats your fucking squirrel, bro, I mean, I'm in trouble. Bigger dogs like bigger prey, and in the essence, it's like, you know, it's a statistical speaking. You're not supposed to fear them, bro, but it's instinctual. It's like, yeah, you can have a fucking pet lion. Sure, sure. But remember, it's a lion. You could take its claws out, but it's a lion. You could take its teeth out, but it's a fucking lion. And we talked about that earlier, about I can't say it right now. Conforming. You know what I mean? Like a bird can dive into the water to get to get a fish, but it can't stay under there. And that's it, is like, this dog, you know what I mean? Like, granted, it depends on your breed, how you normally treat it, but these bigger dogs need space, they need activity, they need all of that. My dog is the most irritating dog in the world to walk. She don't want to walk. She's a hound dog. Her nose is straight to the ground. She sees nothing in front of her. She's following every scent until you tell her to stop, or maybe pick her little ass up. But you're trying to walk, and all she's doing is smelling. She wants to stop and smell everything. This is a dog you just sit outside with. It's a lap dog. She just wants to be part of it. She don't want to really, if you let her roam, she won't come home because she's just following her fucking nose. Just because dumbass dog. This isn't one of those dogs where you get on a leash and you could fucking take her on Miles walks and you know what I mean? You could pull her on your skateboard. I had one of those cool ass dogs. This dog is not that. This dog is a lap dog. It just sits there. But these bigger dogs are made for that type of shit. We're living in a freaking, you know what I mean? A small, a small space. And these people aren't taking the time to, and it just shows. They didn't treat their dogs like that before. They're not going to do it now. I still walk Nana. Dude, I still make her get in the car and sit with me at night. I'll take her for a walk, and then you're going to chill in the car with me for a while because I'm not walking you back up. You know what I mean? We still take her over. We've been taking her over to the creek. As a matter of fact, I was like, I'm going to give her a bath today. I was like, I'm taking so many baths. We need to, wash her ass down. But going back to it, it's like, damn, that's fucked up. And that kid, whoever that kid is going to be scarred. Whatever happened to their hand, they're going to have all these crazy stitches and an unbelievable traumatic story where they're terrified of dogs. Most of these Venezuelan kids are terrified of our dogs to begin with. I have to get on the elevator with them. Nana is very small and they're always a little jumpy, but then she's real kind, so they get, a nicer dog. But something like this, all these kids out there watching that happen, watching this dog drag this fucking kid around, oh, they're all traumatized. They're traumatized by the type of dog, too. It's a statistic. It's like, you know what I mean? It's like, oh, we knew this dog would do this. And, it's really fucked up because Denver had put a ban on them for so fucking long. And then they let them back. And it's like, it's not the dog, dude. It's the owners. And when you get these dogs, dude, they fucking usually make sure that you have a big-ass yard and 6-foot fucking fence, that it has the room to breathe. You know what I mean? You can't just buy a fucking dolphin and not have a fucking, aquarium to go with it. A fucking, you know what I mean? A fucking, a whole ocean to go with it. And that was some bullshit. Do you feel the wind? Oh, it's so cold and fresh. I love my life right now. It was pretty hot today. I don't think it got to 90, but it was hot, and luckily there was a breeze. But right now I'm just really grateful. That bird's still up there. The crows will start to attack it. They're very territorial. They get on top of it and try to attack the hawks. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable because they could literally just turn around and grab them with their fucking feet. It's crazy. Anyways, I just wanted to talk about statistics. And going back to Aaron Rodgers. They're talking about how many... Okay, motherfuckers. He was sharing something about, his lifetime, how many lifetime points he's made. Yeah, but he spent a lifetime at it. Spend a lifetime. The more time you give these players, the more points they'll get. And we're not caring about old people that, you know what I mean, that have had their peak. We're waiting for the next people to peak. We're in the stage of the crone where you have to accept the death of the old way, your age, your fucking reality, and transform with it, dude. Go into the next stage of your age. And that doesn't mean mentally, or I mean, physically, your physical age, but it's blooming into, like your birthday comes. Are you any different, or you're just older? You're like another year older, doing the same ass shit, wearing the same underwear you bought last week or last year. Like you're really last year's bitch. And that goes for men and women alike. In the sense of, so it's like you're accepting it. That's what Saturn is about, is, pushing your reality, your age, and your limits. It's like, all right, just accept we're part of the older crowd, bro. And it's our job to steward the younger crowd instead of competing with them. You're just crowding up the stage. Who brought their grandpa? Yes, you're great. But you can be a great mentor or leader. You don't have to, you know what I mean? Like, assume position, motherfucker. We roll into these cool stages of we become wise and shit. We become something they look up to, not something they compete with. Bro, what the fuck are you doing? They're trying to be like you, and you're trying to beat them. That's Marshall, that's Lewis, that's fucking Russ. You're getting hella old at this shit. Like, all of you, like, Logic, like, bro, come on now. It's not that your time is done, it's that let's move on to, a better time where we don't, that time. Let's let that time go and find another way to, to move on with time. I'm just saying, you can't compete with the new generation. That's all you're competing with. And the reason is because you're not new. You're using old techniques to be new. They're coming in as new innovators. And that goes back to all of the spirit guides and spirits that I work with, you know what I mean? The greats. You guys are the greats. You will be the next greats. And our job is to make them greater than us, so we can all be great together. They use, you guys, you know what I mean? You go back and who were your inspirers? Russ, your fucking list was so stupid. It was only about people of the here and now. You don't even know anything beyond your own reality. Anyways, going back to old music, you can see I can pull it from everywhere. It's because they pulled it from everywhere. Soul music, it came from ancestral, a fucking drum. A drum and a fire, bro. You know what I mean? Some fucking maracas. You know what I mean? The strings didn't come till way later. The flutes, yes. You know what I mean? They dug holes, stuff like this. They took, the original instruments and they created noise. And you guys want to be the new noise, but you're not listening. You just want to be heard. So do they. Remember being them. Let them shine. Let them thrive. And it'll be you when they stand up in there and they get that award. It's like, you know what I mean? This goes out to all of, the greats before me that gave me a chance and showed me how to be this. And you can sit there and see your life's work in another, rather than you working at life so much. You can pass on your legacy and it can live on forever. Like Kobe. He passed on his moves. He passed on his mindset. He passed on everything, so he could live on, and so did Pac. And that's what it is. It's like these 10 days were about your legacy, not about securing it. You know what I mean? But creating it now, changing the narrative, starting a new legacy, or, you know what I mean? Whatever that may look like for you. I'm seeing the Aries in their identity crisis. Guys, stop looking for you and look back at who you've been. And what, in the pursuit of, happiness, as I told Morgan the other day, I was like, when you get out there, all you're going to find is everything you don't like at first. That's how you just discover what you do like, is finding out what you don't like. If I asked you to go to dinner tonight, you'd say anything but. Anything but. Meaning you've tried that before and you didn't like that. So let's try something new, but not that, because I didn't like that. Alright, so then I take you to somewhere new and you're like, I don't want to do that again. Cool. You had an experience. Now you know, in essence, you're getting closer to figuring out what you don't like, or what you do like, by finding out what you don't like. And that's what relationships are about. Jobs, lifestyles. It's like you, as God said, go out there and love it. Love it till it hurts. Never stop loving it, but go love something else. You know what I mean? Go love your life. Live it to the fullest until it hurts. You know what I mean? Appreciate it, have gratitude for it, and then go love more of life. He said that to me about people, but that's what it means. It's like, you know, love your job. Be the best at your job until you can't stand that fucking job. Never hate the job. Just leave the job and go love another job. Love this house. Love it with all your heart, but leave it. Let it be somebody else's love. When you leave that house, it'll bring new memories to someone else. You can go move into someone else's leftover memories. That didn't sound right. But, you know, everybody's house, unless you built your own off the ground, and you didn't, we're going to, according to God's specifications, we're going to build a bunch of these little tabernacles. But other than that, you're moving into somebody's vision, somebody's dreams, somebody's memories. Somebody had wonderful memories there before you. The job you took. This is somebody else's boyfriend. You didn't find a virgin. You know what I mean? This is your chance to love them, you know, to make the best out of this position. And then you'll figure out why people left this position. Now I know why this house was on the market. Now I know why you were hiring. Now I know why you were single. I thought I was great for this position. I didn't know what it took. I'm out of here. Hey, bro, just embrace it. Statistically speaking, it's time to move on and move up. Or you're just going to be part of statistics. They're going to put you in a nice little box at the end of your life and file you away. And then you're going to wake up one day in a new life and you're going to have to start it all over, and you're going to be on the pursuit of all the things you didn't experience in this life. All the things you said you were going to do, but you were too afraid to do it because you were too logical or you were too scared. You were trying to do the right thing and blah, 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 blah. Hey, bro, the right thing is doing right by you and your heart. And moving on and up. In essence, is like, this isn't good for you motherfuckers doing all this shit. And I'm gonna leave it alone. Yeah, there was a mauling. Do we blame the dog? Do we blame the parents? Do we blame the kid? Do we blame the circumstances? Or do we learn from that this is tragic, but it happens all the time for a lesson to be learned? When I saw it, I remembered this girl. This girl was beautiful, bro. There was, we called it it was a trap house for sure, bro. G-Mom's house. Over there off fucking Polka Avenue. Anyways, it was a whole trap house. And they had this dog, bro. This dog was vicious, bro. This dog was vicious, bro. It was vicious, bro. Oh, that was a different dog. They're showing me that's not the dog that got her. The dog that got her was Yeska. That was a big ass, what was it? It was a Rottweiler mix. It had long hair and shit, but it was a Rottie. Anyways, it was one of fucking, I can't remember his name right now. Joey. One of Joey's girlfriends. Joey had lots of girlfriends. Joey was that typical fucking Chicano, bro. He had a lowrider bike. He wore his suspenders, bro. And he had all the Chicano girls come. All the cholas. Those cholas used to fight with me, them bitches. Anyways, he'd have all kinds of beautiful ones, like, you know, those fucking real life on TV chola ass bitches, bro. And he had this one, and she was so sweet. And this motherfucking, his dog, bro, bit her fucking face, bro. Literally bit her face. I didn't see the mauling, but I saw afterwards, dude. My brother had a huge crush on her. She came to Mexico and stuff and partied. I think my brother banged her, to be honest. But anyways, she had this huge scar that went right through her fucking, the middle of her eyebrows, down her nose, and across her cheek from that dog. She was the most beautiful woman until that happened, bro. And it didn't make her any less beautiful, but she was fucking scarred for life, is what I mean. So when I saw that, I remembered that, dude. It's like, fuck. And it's like, you stand there as judgment. You want to play the judgment card and look at a situation, but you have to step further and further back to see that God's just teaching everyone a lesson through regular trials and tribulations that happen to everyone. Statistically speaking, this was going to happen. Really? I mean, you put all of the red flags together. The kids running around in the bike. These fucking people not raising their dog right. The fucking, the fucking heat. You put all of these fucking perfect, and it creates the perfect storm of chaos. What comes out of the chaos? Is it all tragedy? Or is it a lesson learned? Who learned the lesson? Me? Just the outsider? Imagine the friction going forward. All the people that are mad at that person and their dog, right? All the people that are mortified, all the kids. Oh, here comes the police. Shit, they weren't here earlier. Well, they're kind of pulling off, I guess. Oh shit, there's two of them. Dang, I'm gonna hear all about it. This is gonna be a story. No, they're not pulling off. Maybe they are. And I always don't know what's going on, bro. I be in my car with headphones, my Guess headphones turned up, jamming to music, thinking about, traveling the multi-realms, the smoke and the fucking, I got sage burning and fucking incense, and I'm in this whole la 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 land. It happens all the fucking time, bro. I look up and I am like, what the fuck? I came out earlier and there was something popping off. I was like, what the fuck is going on in this world? I don't be part of it, bro. I live in this world. I don't be part of it, but I have to see it, and I have to see it from a higher perspective. The bird's eye view. My eyes are fuzzy, but I'm pretty sure that bird is still up where it was. And that's it. You just got to stand back, bro, and let just God be God. You don't get to play God. Don't pick sides. You're not on either side. You're on God's side, and understanding that this was just. You're looking for justice, but it was just. And in essence, dude, what is the outcome for it? Because it seemed like, what do you mean you're not going to take their dog? What if that dog bites another kid, bro? And that's what everybody would have been thinking. When I got to the shelter in Yuma, there was a woman, she had 2 dogs, and they took one of her dogs because it jumped up on a kid. It didn't bite. It just jumped up on them, and they got scratches and shit, and they said it had to be removed. She was upset because that one was actually, literally had documentation that it was a registered support animal, where her other dog wasn't. And so, I don't know. But again, it was the same ass fucking breed, big ass pit bulls and shit. And it's not that, it's just, they're not safe. You're just not, understanding how to approach these dogs and how to deal with these dogs and what kind of, It's like, I guess someone like me. It's like, I'm not a bad breed. I'm just, you need to know what you're dealing with to deal with this type of breed. I don't know. And then you think about the kid and shit. This is gonna be some shit. And I saw it, dude. There was like blood and shit all over the fucking ground. The lady said it ripped its fucking arm off. Imagine watching it. They're watching it. They're watching it, dude. They weren't watching that on the cameras, bro. There's cameras over all inches of this fucking place, bro. All over the place, dude. Every time that fire alarm comes down, they come and fucking all in their face. They know exactly who did it. They saw the cameras. They got you, bro. They got you, bro. You're done. You're cooked. Isn't that crazy? I know. I wasn't doing shit, but just praying to God, bro. Just being a good altar girl. Do you believe in magic? Do you believe in God? Do you believe in circumstances? Do you understand the universe? Do you see how things come together? That destruction is enlightenment. And what it is it's like it destroys down the paradigm. However those people were with their dog before that will never be that way again. However those parents were with their child will never be that again. And it didn't just change those 2 families. It changed everybody around. Now they're going to have to implement new rules. People are going to be real sketched about that shit now. They're going to be real, you know what I mean? It causes change. And that goes back to 9/11, bro. There was too much freedoms on those airplanes across the world. We were asking for trouble. We were asking for somebody to fucking take advantage of those fucking airplanes. We needed better security. We didn't know we had a security problem until we saw the problem. And that's just what happened right here. You know what I mean? There's people here when the fucking fire alarm goes off. There's people with all kinds. I saw a dog the other day I never saw before. I was like, that's mixed with fucking Great Dane. That dog is mixed with Great Dane. I could tell because it was small, but I could tell by its paws. I was like, Jesus Christ. There's people, the person with the fucking bird. There's people with all kinds of shit. They're cats. There's this cat on the 6th floor that be running around. My daughter's like, I'm gonna catch it. I was like, no, you're not. It's not yours. It's somebody's. It's not a fucking stray. Yeah, bro. All of this stuff. Because, you know, why do they have pets? Because I got into an argument with someone on the internet about that. It's like, why do homeless people always have a fucking dog? We had a fucking dog before we were fucking homeless, asshole. It was part of our family. We lost our home, not our family. The family stays with us. And if you want to know, dude, I've been denied many homes because I had the dog. Because I had the dog. My son's trying to get some fucking Roblox out of me. Fucking kid. Take him to Five Below. I'm like, you can spend $5. He's like, I'd rather just you spend it on the internet. I'm like, David, you're so not cool. Whatever, bro. Anyways, he just wants to blow on the internet. Like, what are you gonna get? A cool hat? What the fuck are you getting on the internet? My daughter should be spreading the shit. She's wise with her money. Anyways, I just want to show you, statistically speaking, this was meant to be, and everything that's bad is meant to be for the betterment, if that makes sense. And that's all I gotta say about that. Now that I'm talking again, I guess I'll go ahead and do some religious teachings. I'll get up there. Maybe we'll do some Jewish mysticism or something. I'm already feeling the moon day energy. I'm kind of out of the Sunday energy. I'll see you guys in like 30 minutes for a teaching. We'll get all mystical and bullshit. Laters, haters.